Think for a moment. How long has it been since a TV studio has tried to profit off of your early thousands nostalgia? Oh, 2 minutes? Perfect. Because Freeform is ready to cash in once again on your desire to escape into the past with Life Size 2: A Christmas Eve, starring Tyra Banks and Frankie Areza. If you're a millennial, then there's a good chance you grew up watching the 2000 Disney Channel original movie Life Size, starring Tyra Banks and Lindsay Lohan. Tyra, you haven't aged a day. Hi Lindsay. You've got your own thing going on too, don't ya? Life Size 2 starts like any formulaic Hallmark Christmas movie, and then halfway through it decides to jump randomly between a series of conflicting conflicts and fantastical plot devices, all interconnected by surprisingly frequent hip-hop montages.
Oh.
I'm not sure if the new haircut followed by the new outfit each needed their own dedicated sequence. This movie plays it very fast and loose with its 80-minute runtime. Life Size 2: A Christmas Eve has both its funny parts and its flaws, and a few moments that'll just make you say, really? Isn't this a kid's movie?
Your pecs, they look as delicious as your juicy chicken tastes.
Wow.
She's literally babysitting a stranger's child in this scene. We're taking the bad with the good and breaking down the best and worst parts of Life Size 2: A Christmas Eve in today's clip breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another holiday clip breakdown. You can check out my other similar TV recap videos in the playlist below. And don't forget to like this video so I know you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, I would love to have you click that subscribe button, that way you never miss new videos from me every week. This movie introduces us to Grace Martin, who is the world's youngest CEO to Marathon Toys, which is the toy company she inherited from her mother, who, get this, is in jail for some unspecific financial crime.
The former CEO of Marathon Toys created the Eve doll. That fairy tale came crashing down about 2 years ago. She is serving a 5-year sentence in Decatur Women's Prison.
How is it breaking news that somebody went to jail 2 years ago? I guess that's how they do it on Exposition News. At the company, Grace's board of advisory consists of the nice guy, the bad guy, and a room full of extras. They tell her she needs to discontinue toys in order to save the failing company. This is what she has to say when asked about discontinuing Eve, the flagship doll.
Discontinue the doll. I doubt it's what my mom would want, but she's not here to make that call.
I know that she's supposed to be hungover in this scene, but there's no way they meant for her lip color to wash her out that much. I recommend just a sweep of blush under the eyes and cutting about 2 pages of dialogue. P.S. I didn't know, but I googled it. This is the actress that's best friends with Selena Gomez and donated her kidney. I think she does a great job in this movie. There's a lot of solid acting. Just like in the first movie, Eve magically comes to life and she has to convince Grace not to discontinue her. That's really all the background you need to know to enjoy this amazing holiday adventure. This movie is clearly meant for new audiences as well as people who are familiar with the first movie. You'll also notice quite a few Easter eggs connecting Life Size 1 to Life Size 2. But aside from that, this movie feels very familiar. It's like the same formulaic plot as a Hallmark Christmas movie, right up to there being like a sappy little kid. That's Grace's young neighbor Lex. Grace is in no way related to or in charge of this girl, but for some reason she picks her up from school all the time.
Your mom told me that whenever I felt lost or alone, I could ask Eve for help. I could make a wish and like magic, it would be all right.
You should wish for a more consistent acting performance, because right now that's just all right. For me, this is where the plot starts to get a little shaky when Lex discovers the Book of the Dead inside of a box of Grace's mom's things. This is the magical spell book that brought Eve to life in the first movie. As you can tell by looking at it, this prop really fits in with the tone of a movie that takes place during Christmas for no reason. For bonus nostalgia points, we even learn that this spell book was passed on to Grace's mom by Sam, which is Lindsay Lohan's character in the first movie.
To Eleanor, this book changed my life. Maybe some other little girl can use it. Casey.
I knew this movie was going to be part of the life-size cinematic universe. It seems like Grace's mom might have been dead in previous versions of this script. She's just in prison. Grace reads from the spellbook basically to prove that magic isn't real. But then, boom! The next morning she wakes up and Tyra Banks is laying in bed with her. Again, this is a callback, I believe, to how it happened in the first movie, which I haven't seen in a couple years. The first morning that Eve is alive, there's this whole hilarious misunderstanding. Grace thinks that Eve is some girl she hooked up with the night before and can't remember.
Did we last night?
Did we what?
Sleep together.
We sure did. And it was magical. I waited a very long time for this moment.
I was very proud of the way that this movie depicted Grace as an LGBTQ character, because it seems very open and normal to her and her friends that she might have hooked up with a girl last night.
You invited your hookup to brunch? I did no such thing.
In fact, the LGBTQ representation in this movie is for real. There's Butler, which is the name of her best friend slash driver. And then there's Carter, for example, who works at the company that Grace owns. He's a gay character, but it's never used as a plot point or a punchline, and he never says anything like that. You wouldn't know it by talking to me, but not all gay people are sassy. Scientists have proven that fact. I love watching Tyra Banks do stupid stuff. And Life Size 2 gave her ample opportunity to do her best work.
Hippity Hop Eve told me about this.
She eats copious amounts of butter, her hair grows endlessly out of her head, which nobody thinks is weird. I laughed at a lot of these jokes. I thought they were pretty funny and well written.
You're the best friend a doll could ask for.
Role play. It's all the rage.
That restaurant scene is where she meets a character who's almost as cartoonish as she is. That's the flirtatious chef who is everywhere that she goes somehow. How are you the head chef at this restaurant and work at the Christmas Mania food truck? And why would you wear your chef's uniform to this board meeting? You don't work there. Throughout the movie, you can tell that Eve is falling in love with this man, and that's confusing too, because I thought she was a doll. She can have feelings for real people? Okay. I can't even get into that yet because there are so many other characters that you have to sort through in this movie. They are really generous with giving random people lines.
Yeah, we have butter.
There's this girl at the beginning who brings the soon-to-be love interest Callum to the party.
Why is Jen Chen here? She's such a vibe killer. Did I invite her?
Oh god, she doesn't remember inviting me. Just smile and wave.
That's a lot of backstory and time spent on a character that's not in this movie ever again. There's the green-haired man at the salon. Maybe this is a cameo that I'm not aware of.
I thought you were in Capri for the holidays.
Just here to do a major lecture at SCAD.
Oh.
But my favorite examples are probably the FBI agent.
Devin Drake, you're under arrest for providing false evidence, securities fraud, and insider trading. You have a right to remain.
I know my damn rights.
Great. Makes my job easier.
Pretty sure you still have to read him his rights. At the very end of the movie, the little girl Lex's mom shows up out of nowhere.
I'm gonna be around a lot more from here on out.
I got what I wished for.
Wait, what? When was that even a thing? But characters with under 5 lines is not the only thing this movie has a lot of. There is also a surplus of conflicts, and it seems like nobody could understand what the primary driving force is. Grace's toy company is failing. Eve is trying to convince Grace to keep the doll as part of that toy company. Grace has all of these walls up and can't face her mom, but then it's all about Eve being outdated and needs an update. Then the board takes a vote to fire Grace for her hard partying ways. Lex gets mad at Grace for a misunderstanding. Grace gets mad at Eve for a misunderstanding.
Just get out of my face. I'm so done with you. You got me. Oh, and one more thing. Eve?
Oh no, she just made Eve disappear forever. I hope she comes back 2 scenes from now with 0 explanation. Oh good, here she is. By the way, you'll notice throughout this whole movie that Christmas never once plays into the central plot. There are wreaths everywhere, there are Christmas trees in every scene, and then they go to Christmas Mania, which is like this festival of Christmas. It truly feels like they wrote Life Size 2 and then decided to make it Christmas, so they just reworked the plot a little bit. Christmas as a holiday doesn't play into this timeline of events seemingly whatsoever.
We really going to sit on Santa's lap? 2 women sitting on a powerful man's lap. It's not exactly PC.
Wow, way to shoehorn the Me Too movement into your dialogue. Generally, the plot for this movie is rather ridiculous, but my mind exploded and cracked open and went to a different dimension when Eve took out her cell phone and then called her clones in the fictional doll world for advice. There's like a headquarter of other Eves wearing different wigs, and they direct her on her mission to help little girls, in this case, Grace.
You have to save the Eve doll. Time is running out. And then, poof, we're gone.
Is that really how it's gonna happen?
I don't know. Nobody knows. You just need to make sure that Grace understands what an important part the Eve doll plays in the lives of children everywhere. And if you do not reverse that spell, you cannot come back home to Sunnyvale.
Wait, I'm so confused. What happens if Eve fails her mission? She said it's bad because they won't be able to help little girls, because all of the dolls will disappear. Because then why would it matter that Eve can't return to Sunnyvale? I'm just saying, it's hard to get invested in a plot where I'm not even sure what the consequences of any of these these actions are. At the beginning, we learn that Marathon Toys is failing because they're being crushed in the online marketplace. Somehow that issue has been completely reduced and simplified down to the fact that Eve no longer has hip clothes and her careers are outdated.
Though very pretty and polished, Eve's list of careers are short and uninspired. Bridal Eve, it's not even a career.
So there's like a slumber party and the Gen Z kids weigh in on what they think is cool.
Times and people are changing. Couldn't the Eve doll change with them?
You just might be the smartest kid I've ever met.
I'm sorry, did it take a 12-year-old to tell you that it would be a good idea to sell your toys online? But all of her effort is for nothing because, as I said, the mean guy at the office has already convinced the board to vote Grace out because she's an irresponsible CEO. Luckily, Carter forgets his phone and overhears something.
I'm just glad it worked out with the voting. I'd hate to have to get rid of Grace the same way I got rid of her mother.
Oh, okay, I guess you don't need your phone anymore. There's a scene where Grace visits her mom in prison, and that's very moving. For the record, I think Frankia did a great job making this feel like a complex, fully realized character. This scene really shows her at her most vulnerable, so I appreciated that.
You've got what it takes to be a great CEO. You're smart, opinionated. You look after others.
You also struggle with alcohol addiction. Look, there's even a Perez Hilton cameo, circa 2005.
Thanks, G. Great party.
Thanks, Perez. Shots later.
He has had one line in so many movies. Why does he still deliver them like he's in a school play? During the climax, when she gives her great speech, Grace is even wearing a fully millennial pink pantsuit. But again, they had to throw in some fun stuff for the younger kids as well. I saw 2 kids flossing. All of this culminates in a grand spectacle at the very end, when somehow it's okay that Grace, after being ousted from the company, just takes the stage and grabs the microphone back like confidently, so that's how that works.
I know the board voted to discontinue the Eve doll, but...
No, you decided to discontinue the Eve doll. Why am I in charge of remembering this movie's events? Grace's monologue comes to a close and we hear the echo of Eve singing the jingle from the first movie that was on the Eve commercial.
Eve's great, no matter where she goes. Dress her up from her head to her toe.
I can't seem to decide which I prefer. Tyra Banks' clunky auto-tuned rapping or her cringy Cardi B inspired verses.
Dress me up, H to T, dance all night, club I be, with my chick, Gracie girl.
No, I just decided that's the worst thing I've ever heard. All of the kids rush onto the stage and start doing a dance number that was seemingly choreographed by The Wind. Yeah, just keep flailing your limbs, background children. That looks really cool. All of the kids start to reveal Eve's hip new careers.
Love Eve!
Eve, quality.
Love is love, Eve!
Rainbows rain.
I didn't know that being gay or being woke was a career. I'm gonna add both of those to the special skills section of my resume. After the dance, that's it. The toy company is saved. As we found out, the bad guy at the company had framed Grace's mom, so she's gonna be freed. And with that success, Eve says to Grace that she has to go because there are other people who need her help. And once again, the dialogue takes this opportunity to cram in some more social justice movements.
Sunnyvale needs me. Woke Eve is blowing up my phone and she's saying that she wants to stage a march at the Capitol. And love is love, Eve says that there is this little sweet girl in Arkansas that is hurting so bad that needs to know that it gets better.
The chef actually agrees to go back to Sunnyvale with Eve since they're in love, mistakenly thinking that it's in Arizona. But then he, for some reason, doesn't freak out at all when they start glowing and disappear. You're just gonna drag him into an alternate universe? Will his family miss him? Should we tell anyone? No, I guess they're fine. They even give us this end credit sequence.
Hi, this is Plastic.
At least we have each other. Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy holidays!
Wow, that movie had a lot going on, and frankly, I enjoyed watching every minute of it. What do you guys think? Have you seen Life Size 2: A Christmas Eve? If not, you can check it out on Freeform. I saw it on Hulu, it's on Amazon, I don't know, everywhere. Let me know in the comments what you think of this recap. I would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you want me to do even more TV movie recaps on this channel. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel or if you've been watching for a little bit, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. It really means a lot to me to have you join the Nick D crew. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload new ones every week. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for getting into A Christmas Eve with me today. I will see you next time.